Okay, today we're going to look at lesson 1.2, part 3. This is the last part of 1.2 that we're going to look at. Go ahead and open up your composition notebook. Again, if you don't have a notebook yet, do this on a piece of paper, and we'll get you set up later. A few days ago, we wrote a definition for simplify, and that was just to write it in simplest form by completing all the operations. Today we're going to look at another math term called evaluate. And to evaluate just means that you substitute a number or a value in place of a variable, and then you perform the math operation. You evaluate by substituting the value. Copy that definition and then hit the pause button and resume when you're ready. Okay, we're just going to look at a couple of examples, and that will be that. To evaluate an expression, again, you replace letters or variables with the value given in the problem. So one little picky thing that algebra students have to learn how to do is to always replace a letter with a number by putting it in parentheses. Sometimes it doesn't really matter, but just getting into the habit of doing that will help you when the problems get more complex. So copy on example 1, and when you're ready, hit resume. All right, to evaluate this expression for these values, you're going to replace every x with 5 and every y with 2. So I'm just going to rewrite the problem, substituting the value in for each letter. And when I substitute the value x with the number 5, I put it in parentheses. So x squared equals y squared plus x, I put it in parentheses. Again, this is one of those cases where you think, well, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't do anything to the problem. It's just getting you into that habit. Divided by y squared, I replace y with 2. Now this problem becomes an order of operations problem, which we looked at yesterday, and you just complete this problem by following the order of operations. I look for parentheses. I see a whole bunch of parentheses, but none of them have work inside of them, so I move on to exponents. First exponential number I come across is 5 squared. That's 25, plus 5 minus 12 divided by, and there's another exponential number, 2 squared, which is 4. Then I go through the problem again, looking for multiplication or division. There's division at the end of the problem, so I simplify. 12 divided by 4 is 3, and I keep the subtraction. Again, write out the whole rest of the problem. And then the last step is to do multiplication and division, moving from left to right. 25 plus 5 is 30. 30 minus 3 is 27. And that's it. Now I could have written an extra step in there by writing 30 minus 3. I'm hoping at this point you can see that and do that mental math. Okay, copy down the second part of example 1, part B, and then pause and hit resume when you're ready. This problem's a little bit more complicated. It's got the same amount of variables, but they're all bunched together. So I'm just going to start the problem by replacing every letter with its value, putting them into parentheses. So 4, replace x with the value of 3. Y, replace y with 4 to the second power, plus parentheses 2. Now I have an x, and I'm going to replace it with a 3 with parentheses. That's okay. I put it in parentheses, and then I close the first set of parentheses raised to the third power. This set of parentheses is this set of parentheses. All right, now I go through the problem, working through the order of operations, looking first for parentheses, and I have some right here. So inside the parentheses, I'm going to perform this multiplication. 2 times 3 is 6, raised to the third power, plus, and then I write the rest of the problem. Now I'm going to look for exponents. I go through the problem. 4 to the second power is 16. That's still multiplied by 4 and 3, plus 6 to the third power, which is 216. Now, if you didn't know what 6 to the third power was, again, you could use your calculator. Now I'm going to multiply 4 times 3 times 16. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 16. I can't do that in my head, at least not very easily. So I'm going to use the calculator and multiply 12 times 16 and get 192. 192 plus 216. And then I finish this problem by adding those two together. 2 plus 6 is 8. 9 plus 1 is 10. That's 408. All right, that's evaluating expressions by replacing the letter with the value. All right, I'm going to let you try all by yourself. So copy down these two problems, for example 2, part A and B. Pause the video and then complete the problems, and then I'll show you the solution when you're finished. Okay, answer to the first problem, as you can see, is 11. If you didn't get that answer, look through my steps and see if you can figure out where your error is. In the second part, in B, I've made each step a different color because the fraction makes it kind of confusing. I've substituted all the letters with numbers and then simplified and got 180. Again, in a fraction problem, I looked only at the first part by itself as a separate problem and only at the second part or the bottom as a separate problem. When you get 5 minus 4 and get 1 on the bottom, that just makes the fraction, the denominator disappear. All right, your